Yo, 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 yo. Thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for stopping by. All right, guys, let's get into it. We got chapter 1189. We're going to do a live chapter review. We're going to talk about last chapter since we didn't post a video off the last chapter. It was a little, right? So I didn't really know what to take that, and I didn't really have any theories off of that. I think I got like one cool storyline I think would be cool, but generally speaking, like let's get into the chapter and kind of just share out. I'm going to share my initial thoughts. You guys jump in the comment section and let me know how you feel about anything that I say. But essentially, the chapter starts off. Chapter 1189 starts off just with Nami chastising three monkeys. Obviously, is definitely giving Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy, which is very cool. Just like depicting their like personalities through these monkeys. I have no idea why he's covering his mouth, but I'm pretty sure Zoro's guilty of something, or at the very least, like egging Luffy on to do something crazy. And Sanji's just like, I don't care. I see vision of it. Yeah. So basically, starts off with Luffy where he was, got essentially stabbed to death, or so we thought, stabbed by Emu. I thought it was interesting. Just kind of my initial thoughts is, with this being like the world tree and this tree being so important, I kind of have an early theory of like this tree giving him life, Luffy life. I don't have anything to back that up. That's just kind of like my initial thoughts, is that I just feel like this tree is gonna play obviously going to play an important role in the story itself. I think just because of how massive it is, and the fact that we still haven't went to heaven, or what the sun room, if you will. We're still kind of on the we're been to the hell and kind of like the everyone chilling land, but definitely haven't been to the top. So I'm just interested about this tree, especially as it stabs through him. I think Oda drawing this detail on this tree should matter, but either way it goes. So he's getting stabbed. Thought it was interesting. We talk about film red, and is that canon versus non-canon? I mean, we know it's not canon, but it's just kind of interesting because Usopp, right? Like Usopp has this moment where he's like, ding, and it's like, to me, I'm like, is that observation hockey? Is that a gut feeling? Like, that was very interesting to me that Oda took the time to draw that he detected something. So I'm really thinking that this is just Usopp's observation hockey still having more of a natural effect on him than him like actually channeling it, which also really confirms to me, and you guys have seen some of our previous videos where me and Lee have talked about just kind of how the Straw Hats have certain abilities that they should have that they just simply don't. And it's kind of confirmed to me in this drawing that like Nami is just still Nami. She's just a regular human that just kind of came across some really cool tools, and she's going to use that, and she's going to be focused on being a navigator. But at least for right now, that's just like my moment of like, man, she didn't notice it. But anyway, he's worried about him. These guys are kind of sitting there trying to figure out what's going on. Jinbei still is a very interesting character to me throughout this arc. I think there's been like, I know the streets have been talking about like Jinbei just like having moments of like, oh, we're gonna kill Shuri if you don't, tell us what's going on, Brooke. And it's just like the whole, I don't know. I don't like how Jinbei has been written lately. I think he has so much cool ass lore. When we met Jinbei, he's always been a real NIGGA. Like, I just really thought Jinbei stood on business, especially Big Mom. Like, that scene is still one of the coolest scenes in all of One Piece. The fact that he stood up to Big Mom to join Luffy's crew. Even when he rejoined the crew and kind of sat down and told the cool story, and he's in the fog and everybody's like, wait, who is that? And it's like, oh my God, it's Jinbei. Like, I just think Jinbei is a super dope character. Arguably to me was very quietly stronger than Sanji for a while, but now we've given Sanji's conquerors haki. Wow. But anyway, yeah, so they're still dealing with Prisha Shuri. It seems like Princess, what was I saying? Princess Shuri. Looks like, if I'm correct, she was coming to a little bit. Think she was having, I think it's a little bit further down, but essentially Jarudin and his crew crash into Loki, which is kind of crazy considering that like he literally is on the verge of death. But I guess he went to go save his, well, obviously he did went to go save his brother. We'll talk about that in the coming panels. But just I think it's going to be interesting that, and this is actually a good thing that, man, I'll give credit to Oda in some form or fashion. I know it's like, it's easy to kind of hate on Oda, but at least I like the fact that with Trump being so small, I thought it was pretty cool that he does have another healer that, or not healer, sorry, I've been playing Marvel Rivals all day, but he has another doctor that can help Loki, because that is something that was very interesting. It's like, how in the world is Chomper going to get Loki back up in this fight, and how quickly can he do it? But it seems like now kind of Otis added that buff and writing of these two are just awesome healers, which is also funny because actually I forgot that like Sister Girl here got her fingers chopped off. So the fact that she's even trying to help is a little, but anyway, we're not gonna get too much into that. Um, so yeah, just kind of going through the chapter. Let's see what else is important. So, this is one of the theories that I had that I didn't get on video, so I can't say time stamp it or have actual proof. But I thought initially that the swords and the items that Emu was using were historical reference swords. Like these swords had serious meaning or serious lore behind them. It was confirmed in this chapter. The one of the things that I thought, and again, I'm going live here, so I haven't done my research on this, so I'm gonna forget some things that are gonna come to me later. But I will say that when Zoro clashed with the Elder, our half horse Elder, that Elder knew of Zoro's sword. I thought it was interesting that Emu, when he clashed with Emu for that half a second before Emu rocked his shit, I just thought it was interesting that he didn't acknowledge his sword, not even like a little bit. So I wonder like what. And again, I'm gonna do a deep dive on that. Maybe that's nothing. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, but I just remember we all know that Zoro has like a famous sword to some degree, and I just wonder like where it ranks amongst like some of these like more unique blades or blades that have more lore to them. But yeah, so it's pretty much man, Emu is going in right now on on Luffy. I mean, not only is he blaming him for flashbacks that like he didn't really do, just like the whole fight, like Emu is just locked in and really making sure that Luffy understands how much he detests him. And then on top of the fact that now I thought it was a little interesting that Emu stabbed him so clearly, and he's still like pulling out more blades, and he's like, yeah, like shit, like I got more in the tank, and how many of these slashes are you going to be able to take? So very interesting of just like how, man, whatever this Joy Boy Emu relationship was, like the fact that he's just so triggered by Luffy's presence to the point where he's just like now like, no, I'm going to torture you. I'm going to just completely, utterly kill you in a way that is just going to let people know that like I am the king of this earth. And I just think that it's a little interesting. Give some real theory to him, Emu and Joy Boy's relationship. But anyway, so as you can see, get stabbed again. I just can't believe what insane character. What do we call it? Not character buff, but it's like oh god, like dang. I can't even think of the name. But anyway, basically, what type of character protection does Luffy have? The fact that he's been stabbed twice by Emu, seemingly with like some of the most iconic swords that I guess will probably be a part of this full One Piece story. And essentially, he's tanking it. Well, I wouldn't say tanking it, but he's still alive. So let's get into this a little bit. I thought this was interesting. So, a part of the chapter we get Loki talking about just how he wanted to get exact vengeance on the war government. Obviously, Shanks was telling him, which again, everyone's been talking about how Shanks, captured Loki, and I still the more we have interactions between them two, the more it makes sense that's I think that there's more to that story, and I don't think we'll get it because it happened off screen, and Oda's very good at writing some important things off screen, so and then just never mention them again. But whatever. But I think it was interesting that he talked to Red Hair Shanks. He was talking about getting his revenge. Shanks has always knew about the king. I guess obviously as a god knight, he would have that information. I wonder how in which he knew that Emu was so strong. Strong enough that where he's seen Loki wield a power that's never really been seen before, wield it, and still says, "Nah, bro, that's not enough." So I just think it's a little interesting there. Obviously Shanks has finally beaten the double agent allegations, but I just think it's very interesting that, like, in some form or fashion, my brain first questions like, how does he know how strong Emu is? You know what I'm saying? And why? And he's just seen Loki. I'm assuming Loki, probably in order to kill his father. I don't imagine he actually transformed into the dragon. I'm pretty sure Loki transformed immediately to his hybrid form, or a hybrid form, because as we've seen with Killingham has had multiple forms: dragon head, human body, dragon body, human head, like all of these different things. So I just wonder, going back to the Loki thing. I just think that he had the hybrid form when he killed his father, and again, Shanks seen this hybrid form for the first time, and still just knowing that it's not going to be enough is interesting. And not only did he say he couldn't defeat Emu, but he was like, if you could even get to him. Now that part makes sense. There's value in numbers. The Gore government is huge, it's massive. They're gonna do everything they can to protect Emu. But just to feel I got the feel that Shanks is basically like, man, even if you get to him, like, I don't know, big dog, if there's enough. And there's only been one man that's ever gotten that far, which again, just keep giving this just the D clan. It's just giving him more and more lore post death. Sorry. So let's see. So basically, um Harjuden, essentially, I guess they decide that they're gonna go, I guess go join the fight to some degree. Um So I wonder how that's going to be. So I'm assuming what's going to happen, just because I read the chapter already and I know how it ends. For some of you who haven't read the chapter yet, it's going to end in a way, and you'll see it, so you'll understand my comments at the end. But basically, essentially, thinking this is going to be an all-out fight against Emu. And my early theory is that Emu's going to run out of time, that he could actually be away from the palace or Mirjawai, anything like that. Maybe even his real body. So I think that's going to be interesting. So but yeah, so we go back to one thing I got to mention. I hate to do this to y'all, but some of y'all who are older, who understands older writing inconsistencies, I'm very glad that Brooks sees Shuri as his daughter. That's all. I'm gonna leave that there. So some of y'all will get that, others you may not. If you don't get it, keep your innocence in the world. But yeah, I thought, so I had I just, again, wielding these blades. It's funny how Emu doesn't know what's going to be wielded. It's just given to him. So it's just it's just it's just all of this. There's so much to his power that just doesn't understand. Is it coming from an abyss? Is there like is there a separate world? That it's just so many questions about Emu's power and his ability. Are the eyes what are the eyes representative? Are they demon lords? Is he like Jin Woo? Like, it's just so many questions I have. And again, this video isn't for the theories. I'll come out with a few theories once I really kind of read some of the chapters again. But yeah, so we transition into, after he's about to get stabbed with the axe, we transition into the Zoro Summers fight, which I think most people really thought that the Zoro Summers fight was going to be very, very one-sided, but it seems like Summers is actually surprisingly a very good swordsman. Not only is he a good swordsman, he has a buff, and really, bro, like, I like this for Zoro. Like, I love this matchup for Zoro because Summers is talking that shit the entire time. And we just came off of him playing around with Lucy. Rob Lucci. There we go. I was like, Rob something. Anyway, yeah, coming off of Rob Lucci and Egghead, like talking shit to him, saying, hey, I'm a dog walk you, and then I'm gonna go kill your people, and saying that you're gonna be to blame, and you're not strong enough to finish me here, but you was talking shit at the start of the fight. And so I just think that, like, I like how Oda is giving him characters, and this is why I wish Zoro was a little bit more of his old killer self that we got when Zoro was like back in the day, because I'm literally like, bro, Zoro has always been the one you don't talk shit to, because Luffy has always reeled him in with them respects to the crew of like, hey, bro, like we ain't really trying to just go around being like mass murders, but Zoro got a little bit of mass murder in him. So that's why I'm like, I think it's interesting that like he gets these characters who talk so much shit, who really about it. I wish Oda would lean into that a little bit more and let Zoro kind of have moments where he slips back and forth, because that is the role that Zoro plays. Zoro is he's the king of hell. Like he's willing to do whatever it takes to not only be the best, but then to make sure Luffy reaches his ultimate goal. And he's taking on this role as number 2, and he's willingly accepting it. So it's just interesting to me, like Oda pairs him up against people who are very easy to root against. So we'll see how this fight goes. But right now, it's not looking great. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Zoro. I do think that like for an image like this with Zoro still not looking slightly unfazed, but I do think there's a level of like, oh shit, this ain't gonna be as easy as I thought kind of vibe from Zoro that I get from these drawing panels. So we'll see, but I just think that it's gonna be very interesting. I wonder what Zoro's gonna pull out. I wonder if Zoro's going to in some way, form, or fashion master his conqueror's hockey, or maybe this is a one shot kaboom. But the fact that we've already saw like drawings of potentially like a hockey conquerors clash, like maybe Summers doesn't have conquerors, but maybe he's just extremely strong. Maybe he's strong enough to match conquerors with the buff. But just the fact that his initial attack was like easily blocked, I mean, it could be Zoro gauging the fight. But I just think that at the same time, Zoro's probably a little bit caught off guard with the fact that like this buff that they have is not a joke. I mean, even here, like Zoro's like a little teach Clint, he's huffing, like why this guy Sommer's talking to him crazy. So it's like there's something there that's gonna be very interesting. So let's see. So the interesting thing about Imuda's comment, thou shouldest be honored to die by the arms that constructed this world. There's a lot of theories about Imu not being from this world and things like that, obviously with the demonic, but also maybe even from the moon or a different planet, things like that. The Joy Boy make a connection with him through some altar, some high-tech thing that was happening, they had in the Void Century, whatever. But I thought it was interesting because he said constructed this world, and it's like, well, yeah, he created the world government and all of that good jazz, but it's like it's just very interesting to again, not only Emu's power but his origin. What I'm saying, there's just so many questions and theories there. Again, won't get into that now, but basically you still go into Killingham. Now this is interesting. We didn't get much on this fight, which this seems like a relatively shorter chapter. I feel like it was one of those like Oda trying to appease us and not have us wait forever for such a. I just don't think that. To be honest with you, I just really don't know if that last chapter was so meh that I feel like just Oda just gave us something, but he probably needs like a real break to probably really get in his bag, because I mean there is a lot going on right now. I mean you got the crew dealing with their issues. You got Harjuden and his crew coming to essentially probably save or help Gabon fight Emu. Then you got the God Knights, and then you got the children, and then you got the Rain God, and then so it's like there's a lot of elements to this. I still would like to see Jinbei have some impact or some interaction with the Rain God. I just feel like as a person that I'm assuming has conquerors or should have conquerors, Jinbei does. Like I find that hard to believe that like all this mass water and there's just Jinbei just sitting around like, I'll protect Loki from some random off-trade shot. And I'm just kind of like, again, it's just like the writing for Jinbei is like I feel like they've had to nerf him in order to like redo this whole Wings of the Pirate King type conversation, and immediately have talked about that to some degree. But yeah, ultimately, like we haven't really gotten into this fight. I'm not sure how I feel about Killingham in terms of his actual strength. Again, he does have the awakening cloud aura around him, so and I think it's a little different from Somers's ring as well, as because I think Sommers' ring is more like Emu. So I'm assuming that, well, no, Summer does have a devil fruit, so I'm not sure. But either way, Gabon steps in, saves Luffy from absolutely dying. I think it's interesting that Gabon could take a swing from Emu. I think that's very interesting. So yeah, I mean, we got this chapter. It was definitely some things there, but I feel like this is just the start of Oda really hopefully getting in his bag and really giving us like less off-screen stuff and more on-screen fights, so we can understand not only, and I don't know if we'll ever understand the power scaling system here, but it'd be just nice to like, get a feel for like the powers and being able to theorize a little bit more on like how Emu's powers work and things like that. So overall, it was a cool chapter. Definitely a little bit better than the last one. But I'm very interested to see exactly how Luffy's gonna heal as well. I think there's gonna be, there might be some interesting stuff there. So anyway, guys, that was just me off the cup. We'll definitely do some research and make some videos here out. Your boy just found an editor, so I'm working with the editor and building my team so that our videos can come out faster, more lively, more exciting. So thank you all for what you do. I appreciate you. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Peace.